Welcome back to this week's BD Outdoors Sportboat Roundup. Phenomenal fall fishing still continues with those big ones holding out west and these local tuna in that 20 to 50 pound class. Kelp still holding Dorado. Some days they want to bite, others they don't, but overall really great fishing happening right now. The Liberty hit 2-day limits with 80 bluefin using fly line baits on 30 to 40 pound tests. New low and limits with the biggest at 200 this week. The PQ Old Boys charter hitting with 64 yellowfin and 3 bluefin. The Grande finished off the season with limits of Dorado and some mixed tuna in there as well. Poseidon also finished their season. Robin landing her PB bluefin at 200 pounds at night on the jig, so congrats Robin on that one. Islander Pacifica Pegasus limits this week. Legend with 96 mixed tuna on their 2-day. Constitution made it down the ridge with solid sign of wahoo going into their Mag Bay runs, and the Intrepid returned back from their first 10-day with plenty of offshore species with wide open late afternoon bites and some phenomenal calico fishing as well. Fall breeze starting to creep up on conditions down south, but they're still remaining ideal with the ridge producing yellowfin, their yellowtail, some wahoo in there. Some gear recommendations if you're heading out on a long range trip right now. It's going to be a 40-pound fly line as a universal outfit for your yellowfin, your yellowtail, a 50-pound setup for yo-yo, your favorite wahoo bomb or jig, and a jig stick to have on standby for those yellowtail opportunities. But like I said, we're experiencing pretty phenomenal fishing right now, and I can't stress enough having these 3 essential offshore setups here in SoCal. So here we are. First is going to be a 30-40 pound fly line setup with your matching fluoro and those smaller hooks for tuna during the day and at gray light. Choosing a good bait that wants to get away from the boat during a plunker bite puts you way ahead of the people around you, and that bait's going to be first seen by tuna that might be swimming through. Another rig is your daytime sinker rig, so nothing less than 60-pound test, your matching fluorocarbon there, anywhere from size 1.0 to 3.0 hooks depending on the grade and the bait that they're seeing. Having metered line, whether you have colored line or you marked your line beforehand, is instrumental in utilizing that sinker rig or that drop shot brawler rig. When your captain says he sees them at 20 fathoms, you should know that's around 120 feet. So while you can play that guessing game of I think that's 120 and you're dropping it down to make sure you're hitting that water column, having your line marked, you know right where you're supposed to be, and you have more confidence in your bait presentation where that placement is in the water before you wind back up to start that process all over again. For nighttime, these big ones, they can be formidable. So having a setup you have the utmost confidence in that it's going to handle anything from 60 pounds to 200 pounds, it's going to set you up for success, I promise you. And anyone can attest to that. These bluefin at night, generally, they're not as finicky as during the day, but having that proper jig to get down there makes all the difference. If you're using a 250 gram jig, you're getting more than 45-degree angle in your line, you need to size up. Make sure your line is straight up and down and you're working those handles and that jig to get a bite. Hope some of these suggestions helped. Good luck out there, and I'll check in with you all next week.